when I picked up the phone to call my daughter Emily about her upcoming vow renewal ceremony, her husband Jake looked me straight in the eye with a smug grin and said, "Oh, we already had it last weekend. We kept it small, just the important people." Those words slammed into me like a freight train. Important people. Me, who for the past 5 years had dipped into my 401k to pay their $1,200 monthly mortgage on that cozy suburban house in Atlanta, who had covered every car repair, every school fee for my grandkids, and even their fancy vacations when times were tough. I wasn't important. I stood there in my modest living room in Ohio, the phone slipping from my hand like it was made of lead, watching Emily fidget with her coffee mug while Jake lounged on the couch. I'd set aside $500 as a renewal gift, imagining toasts and laughter. I'd even dusted off my old photo albums, reminiscing about Emily's childhood, planning to share stories after the event. All of it crumbled with those cruel words, "Just the important people." Emily finally mumbled something about it being intimate, just close family. But I knew better. I'd seen the posts on Facebook later that night. Her in-laws beaming beside the happy couple under string lights at a picturesque venue. Her siblings clinking champagne glasses. The kids in matching outfits. There was Emily's stunning white gown, which I'd contributed $400 toward last month when she said she needed a little help with personal expenses. I saw it all. Everything I wasn't meant to be part of. A week later, exactly 7 days after that gut punch, Emily called me, her voice all sugar and desperation. No longer the confident woman who'd shut me out. Now she was pleading. "Mom, the mortgage is due. The bank is hounding us. If we don't pay by Friday, they'll start foreclosure proceedings. Did you forget the transfer?" Her words trembled, like the world was ending over a late payment. I paused, recalling all the times I'd rushed to my online banking app, canceling my own plans to ensure they had stability. The nights I'd skipped my book club to balance my checkbook, or eaten oatmeal for dinner so I could wire them extra for emergencies. And now, after excluding me from what should have been a celebration of their love, a renewal I'd helped nurture through tough times, they dared to act like nothing had changed. Funds I'd given without question, not knowing I'd be sidelined from the very renewal that trip inspired. For years, I'd walked on eggshells, measuring my worth by how much I could give, hoping for scraps of gratitude from my own flesh and blood. I was the perfect mom, the doting grandma, the invisible ATM who never complained when they forgot my birthday or treated me like an afterthought. But just the important people lit a fire in me that had been smoldering too long. That night, after hanging up, I sat at my kitchen table and tallied it all up. 5 years of help, mortgage payments at $1,200 a month for 60 months. That's $72,000 alone. School fees for the 2 grandkids, about $500 quarterly per child, another $12,000. Car repairs and insurance top-ups, easily $8,000. groceries and utilities when Jake was between jobs, $5,000. Gifts for birthdays, Christmases, anniversaries, at least $4,000. Medical copays for Emily's migraines, $1,500. The down payment on their minivan, $3,000. Total, $105,500. Over $100,000 pulled from my retirement savings. My late husband's life insurance payout, the nest egg I'd built over 40 years as a school teacher. All to prop up two capable adults in their 30s who couldn't even fake appreciation. The phone buzzed, Jake's number. Normally, I'd answer in a heartbeat, hoping for a "thanks, Mom," or an invite to see the kids. But this time, I let it ring out. Then Emily texted, "Mom, please, we need to talk. This isn't like you." I deleted it without a reply. The next morning, something shifted. I woke up not with the usual knot of worry about their bills, but with a clarity I'd lost somewhere along the way. I looked in the mirror, those tired eyes, the lines from years of putting others first, and saw strength staring back. I brewed coffee, not thinking about calling Emily to check on the grandkids, but about me. For the first time, I was my own priority. I pulled out my bank statements and did the math again, just to confirm. $105,500 wasted on people who saw me as a resource, not a person. At the bank, where I'd set up automatic transfers for years, the teller, Mrs. Harlan, who'd processed them all, greeted me warmly. "Mrs. Thompson, here for another transfer?" "No," I said firmly. "I'm here to cancel them all, and I want to know how to secure my accounts. No more share." The next morning, something shifted. I woke up not with the usual knot of worry about their bills, but with a clarity I'd lost somewhere along the way. I looked in the mirror, those tired eyes, the lines from years of putting others first, and saw strength staring back. I brewed coffee, not thinking about calling Emily to check on the grandkids, but about me. For the first time, I was my own priority. I pulled out my bank statements and did the math again, just to confirm. $105,500 wasted on people who saw me as a resource, not a person. At the bank, where I'd set up automatic transfers for years, the teller, Mrs. Harlan, who'd processed them all, greeted me warmly. "Mrs. Thompson, here for another transfer?" "No," I said firmly. "I'm here to cancel them all, and I want to know how to secure my accounts. No more shared access." She blinked, surprised, but nodded. "Of course. Is everything okay?" Her concern was genuine, more than I'd gotten from Emily in months. "Everything's finally getting better," I replied. While she worked, my phone lit up. Emily, Jake, Emily again. Like they sensed their lifeline slipping away. I silenced it. "Mrs. Thompson," Mrs. Harlan said, handing me the forms. "I've seen you give so much. I hope you're taking care of yourself now." Her words hit deep, a stranger caring more than my family. When I left, I felt lighter, unburdened. My money was mine again. No more funding lives that had no room for me. Back home, I thought of all I'd sacrificed. The cruise to Alaska I'd dreamed of, but skipped to cover their kitchen remodel. $4,000. The friends I'd neglected, always on call for their crises. The hobbies like gardening I'd abandoned because every dollar for seeds was one less for their needs. That afternoon, I took a walk, just because, past the park where I'd pushed Emily on swings as a kid, remembering her giggles and "You're the best, Mommy." When had she become this entitled woman who treated me like a bank? When had I started buying affection? At the library, where I'd volunteered before life got consumed by their demands. The librarian, Miss Patel, waved. "Linda, we missed you. Another errand for the family?" "Not anymore," I said. "And I'm here for me." Recommend a good book on financial boundaries. We chatted, and for the first time in years, I felt seen as a person, not a provider. When I got home, 2 cars were in my driveway, Emily's SUV and Jake's truck. Through the window, I saw movement inside my house. My stomach dropped. They had my spare key, given in trust for emergencies. I took a deep breath. This was my first stand in the new me. Opening the door, I found chaos. Emily rifling through my desk drawers, Jake on the phone, and a stranger, a man in a suit, flipping through my mail. "What the hell is going on?" I demanded, louder than intended. They froze, looking at me like I was the intruder. Emily rushed over, fake tears welling. "Mom, thank God, we were so worried. The bank said you canceled everything." Jake hung up, his face red. "Yeah, Mom, this isn't right. We're family." The suit man extended a hand. "Mrs. Thompson, I'm Attorney Reynolds. Your daughter and son-in-law hired me to assess your situation. They're concerned about your mental health." My situation? I ignored his hand and snatched my papers. "These are private. You have no right." Emily grabbed my arm. "Mom, you've been acting crazy, cutting us off, ignoring calls. At your age, confusion happens." Confusion. Now it clicked. They weren't here to apologize. They were here to declare me incompetent, to seize control. The woman who'd shut me out of her vow renewal now painted me as a doddering fool. "I'm not confused," I said, voice like steel. "I'm awake, and you're leaving. Now." Reynolds cleared his throat. "Mrs. Thompson, your family has rights if your decisions seem impaired. They've documented erratic behavior, like sudden financial changes." Erratic? A bitter laugh escaped me. "Like deciding my retirement isn't your piggy bank? Like no longer funding adults who treat me like dirt?" Jake puffed up. "We never treated you bad. Everything you've got will be ours someday anyway. We're just helping manage it." There it was, the ugly truth. To them, I was already gone, my assets theirs to claim early. It didn't matter if I had years left. I was an obstacle. "Out." I pointed to the door. "All of you." Emily sobbed, frustrated tears, not sad ones. Mom, we have bills, the mortgage you co-signed, the kids' school. You can't abandon us. Watch me, I shot back. For years, I've paid for a life I wasn't welcome in. No more. Reynolds packed up. This isn't over, Mrs. Thompson. We can pursue guardianship in court if needed. His threat chilled me, but I held firm. As they left, Jake muttered, "You'll regret this, alone and broke." "Jake," I said sadly, "I've been alone, with you taking everything. Now it's my choice." Closing the door, silence wrapped me like a warm blanket. Freedom. That night, adrenaline kept me up, planning. If they wanted war, I'd fight smart. Next morning, I called attorney Sarah Klein, a sharp elder law specialist I'd found online. "Mrs. Thompson, what they did, entering your home, reviewing documents, it's trespassing and potential abuse. Elder financial exploitation is a crime." Her words validated me. We spent hours documenting transfers, gifts, pressures. She whistled at the $100,500 total. "You could have retired comfortably. Instead, you bankrolled ingrates who excluded you from their lives. Our plan: change locks, install security cams, new bank account, update will. First stop, hardware store. The owner, Mr. Gomez, knew me from past family emergency buys. For your house this time?" "Yes," I smiled. "Best locks and a full camera system." While he prepped, Emily called from a blocked number. "Mom, please don't do this. Let's have a family dinner. Celebrate the renewal late. At your place?" Manipulation at its finest. "How much is the mortgage overdue?" Silence. 2 months. $2,400. But it's not just that. We miss you. Do you miss me or my money? More silence. Emily, you chose important people without me. Now I choose me. I hung up, empowered. That afternoon, I hit the salon. Homeward. A neighbor, Mrs. Vargas, waited on my porch. "I heard yelling yesterday. You okay?" Her kindness touched me. Over tea, I spilled everything. "I've been there," she said. "My son only called for cash. Cut him off. Tough, but now we have real talks." Her story gave hope. Maybe Emily would learn. That night, I slept peacefully. Next day, locks and cams installed. Phone rang non-stop. Unknown numbers. Ignored. Called my sister Beth in Michigan. We drifted. My talks always about helping. "Emily, Linda, finally, you sounded like a sponsor, not a mom." She revealed. "Emily bragged about your money at reunions, never your love." And Jake talked future tense, like, "When mom's gone, we'll upgrade." It hurt, but healed. They saw me as temporary. Visiting my husband's grave, I whispered apologies. "Tom, I lost my..." Officers arrived. "Ma'am, restraining orders in process. They're trespassing." Emily wailed from the street. "Mom, this is insane. We're family." "Family doesn't steal privacy or threaten sanity for cash," I replied. Klein added, "All communication through me now." They drove off defeated. That evening, Mrs. Vargas hosted dinner, met her friends, shared stories. A support circle emerged. "Loneliness with users is worse than alone," I said. We toasted freedom. Weeks passed peacefully, but they circled. Cars driving by logged on cams. Klein builds our case. Friday, doorbell, social worker Miss Lee. Wellness check, reports of isolation, paranoia. Emily's escalation. "Call my lawyer first," I said. Klein arrived, dismantled it with docs. "No risk here. Abuse from filers." Case closed. Friends rallied. "We'll testify." Revelation. Emily willing to destroy ties for money. Painful. Liberating. Evening with group. Stories of boundaries. Healing. "True love's free," one said. I cried. Grief for lost illusions. Joy for new life. Month later, lawsuit. Incompetence petition. Heart sank, but ready. Klein, greed motivated. Witnesses, theirs twisted facts. Pharmacist tricked, neighbor biased. Ours, doctor's eval, sharp mind, friends' testimonies, bank records. My turn. Gave $105,500 for love. Got betrayal. Stopped for self-respect. Cross-exam. Clear answers. Judge ruled. Competent. Petition denied. Motivated by gain. Victory. Celebrated with friends. Sold house. Moved to Florida community. Donated to elder abuse charities. Traveled. Painted. No contact from Emily. Heard they downsized. Worked harder. Learned value without my crutch. My name is Linda. I'm 69, and I've learned self-love is the greatest gift. If you liked my story, support by donating.